There was a time, maybe when you were young, untouched by failure, unaware of limitation, when everything felt possible. You didn't just dream, you believed. Believed that one day you'd make it. Believed that somehow, some way, your life would mean something. And when people asked you what you wanted to be, your eyes lit up. Not because you had all the answers, but because you hadn't yet learned to fear the question. You spoke boldly. You dreamed loudly. You walked like the world belonged to you. But time has a way of teaching you different. Life, as it turns out, isn't a straight road. It's a battlefield. And as you stepped further into the real world, that light in your eyes began to dim. Life hit you. Not once, not twice, but again and again. You failed. You were laughed at. You were overlooked. People told you to be realistic, to slow down, to know your place. And maybe you listened. Maybe you started to believe that fire inside you was foolishness. Maybe you started to shrink your dreams down to the size of your wounds. And just like that, the version of you that once roared with passion turned into a whisper. But hear me now, that version of you is not dead. It's buried, covered under years of doubt, pain, regret, and fear, but not gone. It's still in there, waiting. And the only way you uncover it is by walking through the fire. No detour, no shortcut. The path to who you were born to be runs directly through pain, through discomfort, through darkness. Because transformation doesn't start when life is easy. It begins when you've had enough. When you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I will not die like this. When you feel the fire in your belly and you no longer silence it with laziness or lies. When you're done settling, done shrinking, done pretending you're not meant for more. That moment, that raw, unfiltered moment of truth is where everything changes. But make no mistake, it won't be gentle. Transformation demands something from you. It doesn't knock on your door with a smile. It drags you from your comfort, pulls you through pain, and tests your willingness to keep going when every part of you screams to quit. You'll wake up tired, you'll feel alone, you'll be tempted to go back to the life you once accepted. But remember, comfort is where dreams go to die. Comfort never built empires. Comfort never broke records. Comfort never made history. You want success? Then prepare to suffer. Prepare to be uncomfortable, because it is only through the breaking that the becoming begins. And you will break. Don't fear that. Breaking is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the moment you shatter every excuse, every lie, every limitation that's ever told you you can't. It's the moment you discover just how deep your strength runs. Because underneath the layers of fear and fatigue is a version of you that is absolutely unstoppable. A version of you that doesn't need applause to perform, that doesn't need motivation to move, that shows up when no one else will, that works when it's not convenient, that pushes when it hurts, that believes even when no one else does. And maybe right now, you're listening to this not because you're inspired, but because you're exhausted. Maybe you've been giving your best for so long with nothing to show. Maybe you're clapping for everyone else while silently breaking inside. Maybe the world forgot your name, but I haven't. You're not broken. You're not late. You're just early in the process. You are still unfolding. You are still rising. Keep going. Keep breathing. Keep showing up. The most powerful version of you is being built right now beneath the struggle no one sees. You see, motivation is a spark, but discipline is the flame. Motivation fades when you're tired, when you're hurt, when life gets messy. But discipline is the voice that says show up anyway. It's the unshakable, non-negotiable belief that you owe yourself more. And that belief, that fire, is what separates the average from the elite, the wannabes from the warriors, the spectators from the legend. Everyone wants the result, but few are willing to endure the grind. Few are willing to wake up when it's still dark outside and no one's clapping. Few are willing to fail again and again and still come back stronger. But you are not one of the few. You are one of the rare. And if no one's ever told you this before, let me say it now. You are not here to live a life of quiet desperation. You are here to rise. And rising doesn't happen in perfect conditions. Rising happens when your back is against the wall, when you've been betrayed, when the dream falls apart, when the pain is so loud you can barely hear yourself think, but you still get up, you still fight, you still go, because you know what's waiting on the other side. You know that every scar is proof you didn't quit. Every bruise is a badge of honor. Every moment you wanted to give up but didn't. That's your power. That's what builds character. That's what builds legacy. Anyone can shine when things are going well, but who are you when it's not? Who are you when you're exhausted, when you're broke, when you're doubted, when the world tells you to stop? So let me ask you now, and don't just hear the words, feel them. What are you going to do today? Not someday, not when you feel ready. Today. Will you keep walking in circles, hoping someone gives you permission to live your dream? Or will you draw the line, look your pain in the eyes and say no more? This moment is not just another speech. This moment is your decision. Your break the cycle moment. The moment you either choose to survive or rise to lead. Choose wisely. Your entire future is waiting for the decision you make right now. That's the real test. And the winners? They pass it in silence. They pass it in sweat. They pass it in solitude. And then, one day, the world sees them rise and says, they're lucky. But it wasn't luck. It was pain. It was sacrifice. It was relentless effort when no one believed but them. And that can be you, not someday, now. Because the greatest enemy of transformation isn't failure. It's waiting. Waiting for a better time, waiting for confidence, waiting for approval. Stop waiting. No one's coming to rescue you. No one is going to hand you your dream. No one is going to wake you up and say, it's time. You have to wake yourself up. And one day, your name will be mentioned in rooms you've never walked into. People will tell the story of how you refused to quit, how you carry your scars with pride, how you inspired them to believe again. That's your legacy. That's your real reward. This isn't just about your goals. This is about your children, your family, the people you haven't met yet who are depending on you to not give up. Every day you rise, you give someone else permission to rise. Every time you show up, you light a path for the next one who's been walking in the dark. Don't you see? You are not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for everyone who will come after to go. Not when it's convenient, not when it feels good. Go now. While you're scared, while you're hurting, while you're unsure. Go with shaky hands. Go with a broken heart. Go without a map. Because if you wait for perfect, you'll be waiting your entire life. But if you go now, if you start this very second, you'll look back one day and realize that this was the moment everything changed. The moment the excuses died, the moment the pain had purpose, the moment the fire returned to your soul, and most importantly, the moment you remembered who the hell you really are. If this message lit even a small fire inside you, don't let it burn out. Feed it. Fight for it. And if you felt something today, if this reminded you of the power buried inside you, then do one thing right now. Hit that subscribe button, not for the algorithm, not for numbers, but because every time you subscribe, every time you like, every time you share this message, you're not just helping this channel grow, you're helping someone out there who feels exactly like you once did, tired, overlooked, and ready to give up, find their reason to rise again. So leave a comment. Tell me where you're at in your journey, because this is not just a video, it's a movement, and I want you to be a part of it. Thank you for being here. I see you, I believe in you, and I'll see you at the top.